Turtwig. I always loved Turtwig. It was kind of cool. Especially loved how it became like a grass ground type. It was always neat. And again, this is just ridiculous. Alright, I loved Torchic. And then when they came out with the fire types for this and Gen 5, they're all like, hey, the fire fighting... Actually, no, maybe. Let's throw you up on maybe. The fire fighting was really popular, so let's do it again. It got annoying. Flip is also going to be on the maybe. Starly, though. Even though I said though, it's still going to go on the maybe. It was a good Pokemon. I just kind of wish Staraptor was flying fighting. Bidoof is definitely boxing. I've always called him Bidoofus. I love Kricketot, but he's not that good of a Pokemon. Especially love his noise that he did. Shinx is definitely team. Really solid electric type. Nose wasn't the only electric type in Gen 3 besides Pikachu. Oh, and the oh no, it's Gen 4. Besides Pikachu and Pachirisu, I believe it was. Yeah. Cranidos is on the backup. I really loved him. He was the first one I opened in the 3rd gen. But he's such a glass cannon and bugged me. Decent speed though. Showdown is on the main. Because, he was a really decent, like, tank, but where his, like, defense was lacking, his strength was lacking. Burmy is on the fun to ground. Oh, and I forgot that it also evolves into Mothim. Mothim will go there too. Vespiquen is on the backup. She's a really, really decent bug type. But it's just how you get her is just so frustrating. Pachirisu, box it. Weasel, or known as Weaselbub, is on the backup. Because I do like using him. My friend Zephyr used him a lot. So, yeah. That was like his go-to water in the 4th gen. Charon was on the box it. His specialty is kind of cool, but Shellos is on the backup. I really like him, and I like the blue form better, but I find it funny that in Scarlet and Violet, his Pokedex entry says that that form has been like on a decrease in being in the wild. I think it's because people like that form over the pink one. Drifloon is a good Pokemon, but he's going to go on the maybe. Like I said, I'm pretty much the demon type, Ghost and Dark, and I'll use fire as well. don't like Bunary slash Lopunny that much, even with the Mega form. Glameow is also a disappointment to me, mainly because poor Ugly. I just cannot stand that name. And yeah, solely because of the name. The name ruined it for me. Stuntank is in the backup. Really decent. Biggest problem though is its move pool. And it's a physical attacker, even though it learns a lot of special attacks. For some reason. And the picture, the original picture makes it look like he's peeing fire, which has got to be. Bronzor is on the maybe. Again, it's really solid. I've been saying like 4th gen is my favorite. I think like playing it again, like the remake didn't do it justice, and I think that's because with 4th gen, the graphics was amazing. Like the sprites, it really brought like enhanced like what the Pokemon look like. And even like the character sprites were fantastic. And I fell in love with a lot of the Pokemon there. And also, it brought Pokemon back to where it was, like with 3rd gen. I've explained it in a video before, and I'm going to explain it in further details in another video. Chatot is in a box. It wasn't really that good of a Pokemon for being a single evolution. And Squabilly is in the same boat as Chatot. They're both just really seriously a novelty Pokemon. Kinda bugged me. Spiritomb is on the backup. Wait, why is Dusclops on the backup? I just realized that. He's one of my favorite ghost types, and he's really powerful. I'm thinking those maybe Spiritomb on the team? Nah, he's going to sit there for now. Gible is on the backup. Ground Dragon, that was a pretty good typing, but I like Trapinch better. And I do know that Flygon's not as good as Garchomp. Lucario's on the backup. He is really good. And I'll use him, but it's not going to be like, oh, I found him. He has to go straight on my team right away. So yeah. Hippopotas is a strong ground type. In fact, he would be on the high list of the backups. Oh yeah, Dropian, my boy. Definitely on the team. It's like Gyarados, Dropian, and now Grimmsnarl will always just flat on the team throughout the whole game once I get them. And Annihilate kinda now too. Toxicroak is on the backup. I really like him, I really dig him, but I haven't really used him on my team. Like as a solid, like, can't ignore. Carnivine, box it. If you notice, a lot of the single evolutions have fallen under the box it bug. But that's because they're... It's like, while I'm playing, I'll catch like the single evolution, but it just won't go anywhere. There's only a few that I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this. Like, so far on my team? Well, Magnemar, kinda, depending on, like, what else I got. Oh, and Absol. Definitely Absol. That is a really good Pokemon. Vitruvius used to be. Like, single evolution. I used her in the Coliseum. Because, oh my god, that was so much power. And then I tried her in Gen 3, and I'm just like, why was I not using this? So now I'm like trying to use single evolutions more, but it's just... Playing through, it's like I want to evolve the Pokemon for like the Dex data. Finian, I did not really enjoy as a water type. Snover is a maybe. Grass and ice was a really good combination. I think it was its speed that brought it down for me. Forgot about the evolutions. Actually, both of them is going to go on the maybe. They're powerful, and I will use them if I need to. But Eevee is such a, versatile, Pokemon. Like in, Nuzlocke. It's like I usually hang on to the Eevee until, like, I need a certain, element, and then I evolve it. Gallade is different from Gardevoir, but I don't enjoy him as much, but I will use him. Frostlass is also different. She is in the backup. Because it's like I found it's like I used her through my 4th gen playthrough, but I found Glalie to be more... I don't want to say powerful, but he packs more of a punch than Frostlass does. Rotom is fun to grind, especially changing his forms to, like, get the different elements. These guys are really unfortunate. I mean, my favorite one is the Mingsprit here. Or is... No, that's Azelf. That's... I can't remember. They're all the same, in my opinion. They're just the same Pokemon. It's like a Mew wannabe, pretty much. The Alva will go right on my team. Same thing with Palkia, actually. I can run either one. Heatran will be on the backup. And again, it's his defenses that brings him down, but having a Fire Steel type is a really cool thing. I wish they would make that into an actual Pokemon. Like a Furnace. Like a modern Furnace. I I know Rolycoly evolves into kind of a furnace, but that's like a coal furnace, you know. Regigigas, fun to grind. I mean, with this slow start, it's made more for either swapping out that ability or the long haul. It's really cool, but the long haul. Giratina. Question of the day, do you pronounce it Giratina or Giratina? I think it's supposed to be Giratina, but like Giratina rolls off my tongue a little bit better. But yes, since Huo, he's been the only like legendary that I actually ran on my team in the game. Priscilia, I would box it. It was another one of those ones that didn't really tickle my fancy that much. These two definitely box it. Although, funny story about Manaphy. As you may have known, I was on the Dawn server of Pixelmon for the longest time. And I'm sitting there, I'm like fishing up the... trying to like fish up Lapras and whatnot for those little book quests, which was fun. I kind of liked doing those, but Manaphy kept spawning because I was in an ocean biome, and it's like, oh, the legendary should spawn any minute now. We're sitting there trying to get Lapras to spawn. All of a sudden, Manaphy spawns on me, and everybody's like, darn it, Reluge, why are you hunting for Lapras again? It was funny. Darkrai is definitely a box it. He's pretty cool, but his stats and move pool and ability sucks ass. Shaman is also a box it. I tried using it. It was just like with the mythical Pokemon. They were more like a trophy. And this is going to be the most blasphemous thing ever, but Arceus, also a box it. And people are like, it's the god of Pokemon, and it's like, yeah, it was the whole case of like, I just caught the god of all Pokemon. He created the whole universe. Into the PC you go. Out of all the mythical Pokemon, I think we'll actually use Victini. I mean, it's like Fire Psychic type. He got like B Create, which was a really powerful move, really good stats, and he was the first mythical Pokemon where I was actually able to have in the game without cheating. Mew, at least where I lived, I heard different stories, but you would bring in your game and the to like Toys R Us, and the people there would just put the game into a Game Genie, do the cheat code to start with Mew, and just restart your game with Mew as your starter. It's like, wow, not worth it. I'll just use my own Game Genie to catch Mew in the wild. Celebi, I forgot how you got that. I think it was just going to the Pokemon Center, all the way in New York. Jirachi was it came with the Pokemon Coliseum thing on the GameCube. And you just trade it over to your versions. Shaman and the other legendaries was a timed event that you had to like get the code for or something. I can't remember fully, but we didn't even know those were going on, so we missed them. So we just cheated it in. And so with Victini, he got him with pre-ordering Black and White, which I did. And so he came with like a little code that you put in, and it unlocked this area in one of the cities that you can go to and encounter him. And he gave you health, and you could like health EVs, and you could keep fighting them. So it's like I grinded off of him for a bit and then caught him. Snivy is pretty much now on my backup. It was on my team, but it's not that great. This is another box set because it became another firefighting. I didn't really enjoy Oshawott much either. Patrat is also a box set. Lilip is a little fun to grind because it's so freaking adorable. Purloin is on a maybe, because it's a dark type. And oh, funny story, I finally found out why it's called Purloin. I did not know that Purloin meant to cleverly steal. Funny. All three of these are boxed. These guys are just awful. They're dumb looking. Their stats are awful. And they're just dumb. Musharna's also a box set. I mean, I can see its usefulness, but Pidove? Fun to grab. Majority of like the Rattata and the Pidgey clones were just pretty much that, just clones. It was just getting redundant, especially when it's like, majority of them new pickup. Now, Zebstrika is on the back of a really decent electric type, and it's a freaking zebra. Roggenrola is on the backup. Again, it's a really decent rock type. Not much more. Snowbat or Swoobat is boxing. They tried to create a new Zubat, and I did not like it. Though it being psychic type was an interesting change, but I just could not get into it. Drillbur is a maybe. It kind of felt like a Sandshrew and Diglett clone. But Excavalier? I forgot its name. It's been so long since I had to think about it. Oh, and Audino is definitely a boxer. Just all it's the only thing it's meant for was to grind experience on. Timber is an awful design. Especially freaking Ronald McDonald there. Conkeldurr's okay, but, you know, it's still boxed. Tympole is a freaking adorable Pokemon, and it evolves into a freaking powerful, like, water ground type, even though at this point I got really tired of water ground types. This was a really good one. Throw is on the backup, but Sock is on the team. Now I'm going to tell you why. They're both almost exactly the same, except for he's more speed-based and he's like strength and endurance, but Throw's just so freaking much cooler than Throw. So there. They all kind of look like Bert and Ernie. Sewaddle is on the main. Fun tidbit in Pokemon Gadra, a fan-made game. Sewaddle completely ate the first gem. Like, no contest. It was not over-leveled. In fact, I think I was afraid I was a little under-leveled, but it knew Bug Bite. And it just, dead. 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 Just, everybody, I was rewatching for my Season 5 reel, and I just completely missed the whole gym. And I blinked and I missed it. I'm just like, oh, wait, what? Crap. Venipede is also on the maybe. I trained Scolipede for the longest time, and oh, it is such a good bug Pokemon. These two are Boxit. I think those two were like an attempt to make Sunkern again, but just like Sunkern, they failed. Although I like Cottonsee's design a little. Basculin, even with its new, like, Hisuian evolution, is Boxit. Sandile is on my team. I bought Black and White when it was new, but my life at that point was slow. I couldn't really get into a lot of the games. I was dealing with the beginning aspects of a divorce, and it's just, I slowly played at the game. My children were watching the anime, and Sandile popped up on one of the episodes, and I was like, wait, that's a cool-ass Pokemon. I want it. I didn't know it was ground dark, though. I knew it was going to be ground. I thought it was going to be another, like, ground water. But no, it's ground dark, and that's really cool. Okay, I'm only putting him up in the maybe because they both are maybe. They're both really cool. Kind of like them. But I'm not going to bump anyone off if I obtain them again. I do like the Galarian form though. What's this? What? Hang on. I didn't know it had a Zen mode. That would have been cool. This is Box It. Dweebles also Box It. Penis Wriggle, I mean, Scrafty is a maybe. He was kind of cool. Especially I liked how, like, his evolution. I forgot its name. Sylph something. That's Box It. Yamask is a maybe, but its Galarian form will be teamed. I freaking love the rune part. Turtoga is on the backup. Pretty decent water rock type. That's a maybe. Again, I can't explain why. Oh my god, Trubbish is Box It, because that's just trash. Although this is kind of cool. I've forgotten that he had a gigantic form that was like a landfill. Zor is Box It, and it's only because of his ability. The only way I can find that to be useful in a competitive sense is if you had like a fighting type at the back of your team, so that when you send that out, it would come out as a fighting type, and someone would try to use the psychic on it. And it's like, oh, team is not effective, what do you mean? And it's like uses like a dark move on the psychic, and it's like, oh, it's a Zoro. But it is a pretty cool Pokemon. Chinchou, Box It. Just slap the Shining Stone on it and just put it in the box. I don't know. I'm only going to throw her on the maybe because if it's the only psychic type, I'll use it. But it is so far down, it's like not even barely on the fun to grind. And it's because the... Same thing with Solosis. They're okay, like, psychic types, but... they're like an attempt at an Abra clone. And it's just the fact that it's like black and white, or black got one and white got the other. And it's just... I don't know. Ducklet is maybe. I mean, Swanna is kind of cool, but freaking Ice Cream is Box It. Sawsbach is on the maybe. Decent grass type, kind of fun to grind. My favorite form is Autumn, and not because it's Autumn, but just like the reason why my favorite season is Autumn is because the horns are just so, or the antlers are just so beautiful. Plus, the spring one's kind of boring for being spring. I expected it to be more budding, more flowery. And I do like the design. Like the spring, and then it goes to the summer, and then the autumn, and then winter. Now, this next one might surprise people, but Emolga will go on the maybe. Out of all of the Pikachu clones, except for the recent one, Emolga is, like, in my opinion, the best one. Even Denedy and the, I can't remember. The one from Sword and Shield. Or not Sword and Shield, but, Sun and Moon. It's just, I found this one to be quite interesting, and I actually enjoyed using it in Sun and Moon. Or Black and White. X-Cavalier is in the backup. Again, really decent. I love it. It's just how you evolve it's weird. Fumas, box it. Frillish is going to go on the fun to grind. But also, it's like the only, like, surfing type that you find in Black and White, because they took away your fishing rod until the end of the game. And there wasn't that many water types in the Black and White to begin with, but I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Malola is a box it. I am one of the kinds that feels it could be Love Disc's evolution. It almost looks it. It's got like the same design. It's almost in a heart shape. And it's equally as terrible. Joltik is definitely on the maybe. Pretty good electric bug type. I like it. Ferrothorn is fun to grind. I could not keep them on my team. Interesting design though. It's almost like a Pineco. Klinkig is maybe. It is a pretty good steel type, but it's not really imaginative. And also, it was instantly replaced with Dynamo. It will definitely be on my team because of its usefulness, but its stats, if I find any of the other electric types here, they will definitely go above him. I couldn't really get into the alien one. It's cool and all, but it's like, if you... Well, this brings up the whole national dex. There's 1,008 Pokemon out there now. Are you really... Well, I mean, with what I'm going to be saying, it's like minus the legendaries. But are you really going to try to collect them all every single game? I personally would rather have like the 400 per game because it gives you enough of a choice. It throws in some like the old friends with bringing in some possible new ones. And trying to complete the Pokedex isn't a massive chore at that point. Like, Litwick has to go on the team. Like, that is a definite must. If there's a Litwick in the game, he's going to be my fire typo. I don't know. Axew also will be on the team. He's my favorite dragon type. And I think he will for the longest time, and I don't really like the concept of the dragon type too much. I mean, it is like really good defensive, like type-wise. And I found it being weak to dragon and ice to be a decent balance. Especially when the only thing that it's good against is dragon. But when they added fairy and made fairy good against dragon, and made it so the dragon does not affect fairies, broke the dragon type. I know a lot of people are like, oh, finally, dragon's been brought down a couple pegs. But they really didn't need it. Because pretty much it's like majority of the dragons were powerful. Like, by stats. They didn't need to have a drastic weakness like fairy. Chubchoo can go in the box because it's gross. Cryogonal, even though it is a pretty powerful ice Pokemon, I just never got into it. I forgot what they called this one. But he is on a maybe. I just wish it was Bug Dark, because it's supposed to be like an assassin ninja. Stunfisk is fun to grind, but its Alolan or Galarian form is on the maybe. I just love how it's a bear trap. He's on maybe. He's a decent fighting type, I guess. Druddigon is also on the maybe. Very, very good dragon type. Golett, though, yeah, it would definitely be a team member. So freaking awesome and cool. Oh, and Poniard, definitely on the team. Especially with his new evolution. Buffalo, box it. Rufflet, box it. However, it'll be on my team. And the main reason why it's like box the Rowlet, it's like these three, including the Rowlet, you gotta evolve them at level 50. And it's like Braviary versus Vullaby. I'd rather have my Vulture, thank you. I love Vultures. Heatran, maybe. Okay, fire type. Durant is backup. Again, it's really defensive with a good speed, but its moveset doesn't really. It's like Bug Bite and Iron Head as the two high moves. Dino is definitely backup. I'll use him, but I'd rather use some other people. Just not too big of a fan of Larvesta or these legendaries. What do you call them? I called them the deer legendaries, but they're not exactly deers. I know there's like a big story behind them, but I just never really got into them. These two will be on the backup along with what's his face. Reshiram will also be on my team. I really like that, and I love the story with Reshiram and I can't remember, but I love how your rival got the other legendary. He will be on the backup though. Same thing with God damn it, I can't remember their names. Kelio's also backup. Didn't really like it too much. Fun fact, I never got her, but she still boxed it. Genesect, though, is on the backup. I really like his design, and the fact that he's a cannon. Chestnut is fun to grind. Fennekin is a backup. I mean, I enjoyed it as like a starter, but with the other fire types I got up here, especially when one's a fire psychic. And Froakie is on the backup as well. Buttlebee is definitely on the team. The first Rattata clone that I really thoroughly enjoyed, that I still used through the majority of my playthrough. Fletchling is also another team member, and again, it's like the first Pidgey clone that I actually thoroughly enjoyed. Scatterbug? I'm sorry, that's a box it. Really did not. Especially like all the different forms of Vivillon. That was cool, but it became a novelty Pokemon. Although I'm just wondering, which one did you like? I would have to say, I don't know. I kind of like the Pokeball pattern. Litleo is kind of fun to grind. Flabebe is on the backup. Florges is amazing. I don't know. I can't explain why. Well, mainly because of these two, to be honest. Skiddo is definitely on my team. Oh, it's my favorite grass type to this day. Victory Bell used to be. In fact, yeah, I have Bellsprout on the backup because, to be honest, Victory Bell isn't that great. But Go-Go is a beast. I was actually disappointed it wasn't in Sword and Shield, but I'm really glad it's in Scarlet and Violet. Oh, it's so good. Patch Amazon amazing. I'm on the side of the fence. It's like it's a really awesome Pokemon, but its end stats isn't not really amazing, you know? Fufuro is a definite box. It's definitely a novelty. Although I do like the Egyptian type look. But if I read correctly, I think like in Sword or X and Y, the haircut you give it goes away and you have to go and get it again. Esper's also a box. Just couldn't get into it. Honedge. Honedge is on the team. Whenever I get him in a game, it's like, it's insane. From start to finish. And it's a freaking sword. Actually, I used to be on the box for those, but Slurpuff, he grew on me. He's kind of cool. I mean, it's like, I like Cottony. It was so adorable. And then evolved into that, and I'm just like, oh, this is a fail. But it kind of grew on me. Inkay is also on the backup. I really dig it. I know I told this story once before, but if you've watched my playthroughs, you know I like discovering things on my own. My friend, whom I'm going to be just labeling as Jerica, she was like, oh, well, Inkay's going to be a really tough one for you to figure out. You're going to have to look that one up. The first person to discover it must have been like a genius. I don't know what was going through his mind. Now I'm like, challenge accepted. So I'm playing, and it's like on the DS, and it keeps turning it upside down for its attacks, and I'm just like, I'll just rotate it while it's attacking. This is cool. It's not turning upside down at all. Why is it evolving? At first I thought she was pranking me. But no, it's got to be level above level 30 and with the system turned upside down. And I'm just like, are you serious? So I told her, it's like, yeah, I discovered how to evolve him. And she's like, no, that's bullshit. And I'm like, no, because... and I'm doing this, just like... and I'm like, and then it's just wall. And she's just like... Are you shitting me? She didn't believe me at all. It was hilarious. He's kind of cool, but he's just going to be on the fun to grind. This guy was a surprise. He's on the backup, but oh my god, I did not expect him to be as good as he is. Clauncher is a maybe, though. Although I find that the ones that I have on the version the ones I get on the version I have, I find to always be like, I like better. Except for in the case of Mankey, though. But anyway, but Clauncher's cool, and I like using him, but I would use him over Clauncher. Heptile is also on the maybe. That was an interesting Pokemon. An interesting way to evolve it, too. Tyrunt. Tyrunt and its counterpart will definitely be on a team. They're both real good. I have to say, I might say that they're the best fossil Pokemon. To be honest with you. Sylveon will also be on the backup. Just because. He is kind of fun to grind. I like that it's a fighting flying, and its wings is a cape. I love that. The end of the day is on a maybe. It's a decent, like, electric fairy type. Carbonetical is box it. Gumi is a maybe. I kind of wish it was Dragon Poison though. Klefki is in a box it. Destroy it now, please. Phantom is on the backup. And Dorgeist is on my team. The thing is, even though Go-Go is my favorite grass, I used Gourgeist because it was grass ghost. And I loved its trick-or-treat move, turning the opponent into a ghost type. It's like throw that out with like its girth, and the fact that I could just turn someone into ghost type and then use its ghost moves against them. It was fantastic. I loved it. Bergmite is kind of cool, but that's going to be on the maybe. Noibat is on the backup. It's a pretty decent dragon type. Wait, why does Xerneas have 2 forms down here? I only recall it having the 1. But yeah, he's definitely will be thrown on my team. And same thing with I'm blanking on his name. But his Oblivion Wing is such a broken move. Zygarde is on the backup. I never got his full form. I was like missing a few, but I never really truly got the full form. But if I'm going to be able to switch him over to Scarlet and Violet, though, I'm definitely going to be doing the full form for him. And that was form for him. Initially I got that and boxed it, but it is pretty good. I like it. Hoopa will definitely be on my team. That was another one I got for like black and white. Wait, was it black and white? No. No, it's X and Y. Okay. I don't know why I blanked on that. Heatran, or not Heatran, but Volcania was a pretty decent legendary. Wait, X and Y had 2 mythicals.